Hello guys, my name is Philip, and it's been 7 months now since I started doing NoFap. Or well, since I stopped relapsing, I guess. And it hasn't really happened that much in the last month, and I also sort of think that I covered pretty much everything in my half-year report. Which, by the way, brings us to one of the things that I want to mention in this video. Because as far as my YouTube channel goes, the last month has been incredible. I've gotten twice as many views, about like 8-fold or something, the amount of likes, like 8 times as many likes. Incredible. A shitload of subscribers. I mean, my subscriber count has doubled in a month, I think. It started at like, or not doubled, but I think it started at like 320 for a month ago, and now it's 510. So yeah, I mean, my channel has grown insanely fast compared to what it's used to in the last month since I posted that half-year report video. That video just has so many views, so many comments, and so many likes, and so many shares now that it's just beyond belief. So first off, thank you guys so much for that. That's like probably the biggest thing that has happened in the last month. Is just my channel has expanded a whole lot. Also, I have been becoming a bit more intellectual and a bit less physical. By that I mean I am reading more and working out less, pretty much. I'm reading a lot now, and I do still work out, but it's not much, and I do every single day I take a walk, a pretty long walk, so I always, move, simply because I just feel like shit if I sit still the whole day. So that's just a thing that I do, because it feels natural to me. And I also think that's something everyone should do. I don't think anyone should sit still the whole day. I don't think that's natural for human beings to do. I think we sit a bit too much. But also, there's actually one pretty funny thing that happened in this month. And okay, so here's the story, alright? I learned to juggle when I was 8 years old. But when I was 11, I lost one of my balls, and I just stopped juggling. But just like 3 weeks ago, I found the last ball. I didn't even look for it. I just found it. Actually, my mom found it, to be completely honest. And I was like, hey, I got all the 3 balls again. And the thing about juggling, it's like riding a bike. You just know it. So straight away, I was just as good at this as I was when I was 11 years old. Right? But in addition to that, I learned 2 new tricks. And for the last 3 weeks, I've just been practicing these tricks so much because I've just gotten addicted to this. I fucking love doing this. And I haven't done it since I was like 11 years old, and I got so stoked when I found that last ball, or when my mom found that last ball. So here's the first trick that I've been practicing a lot. Hold on, it's really hard with that light, so I just have to change that because it fucks everything up. Alright, now it's easier. You know the deal. And the last one, this is actually really, really hard. This is even harder than it looks. The fucking ceiling is too low here. But you know the deal, you know the deal. And yeah, I've been practicing that a lot, and I also practiced, this one I already knew when I was 11, but I just sort of practiced it more. You just sort of take one of the balls on the outside, and it sort of looks like, or what I'm trying to create here is like the middle ball is standing still, and the other ball is just sort of circling around it. these, by the way, they glow in the dark, and it looks even cooler when the light is off and they just glow, and the visual effect of that is just awesome. But I can't really show it because it sucks on camera. Like, this camera doesn't really capture it that well. I tried it once and it just didn't work. So you have to like meet me in person, take a plane to Norway and meet me in person and ask me to do it, and I'll charge you. I'm just kidding. So yeah, I've just been practicing that a whole lot the last month. I've also been reading, as I said, but what I was reading, and I'm still reading, I'm about halfway through the book. I finished Man Interrupted. I don't know if I already told you that. I probably did. But I'm now halfway through a book called Anatomy of an Epidemic, which is about psychiatric drugs and their potential damage, and like the truth of psychiatric drugs, the sort of dark, not so nice truth about psychiatric drugs. It's not very biased, actually. He does cover, like, he does sort of admit that the evidence that psychiatric drugs work are kind of convincing, that they are quite credible, but at the same time he brutally debunks them with a lot of proof that they are highly damaging. So it's like, you get the sense that he's actually not biased, and it's just a really good book. He also writes in a way that he sort of teases you all the time, even though it's like a factual book. So it doesn't really have this like sort of excitement graph or whatever you want to call it that like novels have. But he still sort of writes in a way that sort of teases you a little bit, and he sort of covers one group of drugs at a time. It was neuroleptics, then it was benzodiazepines. No, at the very beginning I think he covered like Ritalin and stuff like that. But he takes like the worse and worse drugs. So when you think, because he have these sort of anecdotal stories that he tells as well, and when you think that, you know, you've read a terrible story about a person who got ruined by psychiatric drugs, he takes it up a notch in the next chapter. It was that, like, he had these anecdotal stories about patients who were on neuroleptic drugs, and you read that and you thought, wow, these people really fucked their lives up with psychiatric drugs. But then he took it up a notch in the chapter about benzodiazepines, where people got really fucked up on psychiatric drugs. And now I'm reading about lithium, which apparently is some hardcore fucking drug. But yeah, I wanna like really sort of read through it quite, how do I say it, like, I wanna make some videos about what I read in that book, and also other books. I want to sort of integrate the books that I read into my videos, because I think they're very informative, and they really help me understand things, and like get an opinion that makes sense. You know what I mean? Because there's so many people, and I see too many people, way too many people, who make really, really strong opinions about something that they know absolutely nothing about. In fact, it seems to me like most people in the world that have really strong opinions don't know jack shit about what they're talking about. And I'm sort of frustrated about that, and I sort of looked at myself and I thought, man, I'm a bit like that myself. Because I noticed this at a quite young age, and I thought, all these people, they talk so loudly about their really important opinions, and they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And then I looked at myself and I thought, I don't even know what I'm talking about. So then I thought, oh, I gotta do something about that. So that's why I'm reading books. And they're great. I love reading books. Actually, it's something that I've sort of picked up after I started doing NoFap, because it changes your NoFap changes your sort of attitude when it comes to excitement. Because when you're watching porn all the time, and as I've said so many times now, porn is not the problem; it's a manifestation of the problem. Meaning, the whole sort of attitude that you get from pornography, from leaving the television on the whole day, from playing video games the whole time, reading comics instead of books, just all this constant vapid entertainment that you're feeding yourself. The result of that is you get a general attitude that you need to be excited now. And that's why so many more people watch movies than read books, because they're addicted to this instant excitement. But when you read books, it's not as exciting. It doesn't give you that same sort of dopamine high, but it makes you a better person. Like, reading books is a form of self-improvement, the way I see it. And so just changing the attitude about that whole sort of not trying to just be excited instantly all the time, and rather just slowly improving on yourself, that has made me read books. That mentality that NoFap gave me, or helped give me, better say. So yeah, reading a lot of books, going a bit more, as I said, a bit more intellectual, a bit less physical, sort of. Just thinking a lot, just reflecting a lot about myself. I have some visions about the future of my life that I've gotten just from taking long walks without listening to music. I do that now. I've stopped listening to music while I walk because it helps me reflect on myself, and it helps me think about the future and make some, they could be quite important visions about who I want to be and what makes me happy, right? And what would make me happy in the future. And because when you don't listen to music, it's inevitable. You automatically go into yourself. You automatically start thinking about yourself and how you want the rest of your life to be. So I find that very helpful. So I actually stopped listening to music while I take walks. Sometimes I listen to like ambient music though, which it also has the same effect because it's not like loud sort of dung 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 music, if you know what I mean. But the best thing is really to just not listen to music, I think. Apart from that, I'm still meeting people. I'm still going to events. Still, trying to maintain my social skills and just going out. Because if you just stop going out, if you just stop socializing altogether, you just sort of lose your social skills. It's weird because social skills are not like riding a bike, I find. There's been plenty of times in my life where I'm just really, really unsocial for like a month or so, and then I go into parties or something after that, and I just find myself being really socially awkward. Just sort of fucking, how am I supposed to talk to these people, because I haven't exercised that. And I think that social skills, they are important skills, I really think, to make friends and to, because what if, I don't think that's actually gonna happen to me, right? But I don't want to make too cocky either, so I'm just saying, like, what if I completely fuck up my life and like I'm shattered, I'm fucked, right? If I make real good friends, like get really good connections with friends, because that's what social skills is. Social skills is not just having a lot of friends on Facebook, whatever. Social skills is creating good friends, right? To me, that's what social skills are. So if you have those skills and you've created these really good friends and you fuck up your life so fucking hard, you have people who will help you out. And that's priceless. So I'm just thinking, like, that's important. It's always important to have someone to potentially lean on if things go the wrong way. And also for other things, friends are just great. Because a lot of your friends have the skills that you don't have. So you sort of fill each other up, and maybe you start a company together. I don't know. Like, things can happen, right? And it's nice to have friends. It's just simply nice to have friends. Also, it makes you happy to be social. It just, it's proven to be healthy to socialize. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much my 7-month report. And also, if you haven't noticed already, I've done this. Yeah, I know, it sucks. But it's the cheap way to do it, right? So I don't really go to the hairdresser, I don't do anything like that. I just... Because, to be completely honest, I just don't give a shit about my hair. And I think, honestly, personally, I think I look good with short hair and long hair. That's my personal opinion about how I look. And I don't think I look good with hair that's this short, but it's gonna grow out pretty quickly. And once once it gets long enough so that you don't see the hair bottom, that's okay, in my opinion. So yeah, that's why I do it. It's cheap. So I hope that didn't scare you. I'm not a Nazi skinhead or anything. I'm still the same mambo jambo, voodoo hoodoo, hippie, Philip, libertarian that I always have been. Despite, people calling me a misogynist. I've gotten that quite a lot of times now. It's quite funny, because I don't think any of my videos are very misogynistic. It doesn't take very much these days, does it? But yeah, I'm not a misogynist. I'm not a sort of Nazi skinhead or anything like that. This is just me. I'm a bit of a hippie, actually. And yeah, so that's this. So yeah, just a quick summary, I guess. Still socializing a lot, still making a lot of friends, which is great. Sort of thinking more and doing less, I guess. Which isn't necessarily good, but I think it's good to have those times too. Because if you do too much and think too little, you sort of just become a stupid machine, right? So you gotta have some periods of your life where you self-reflect as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.